This is my Yamaha XVS950A motorcycle. I have it parked in the backyard. It's under a rain cover, but I can easily charge the motorcycle battery without taking the rain cover off or taking the motorcycle seat off. Those of you that own motorcycles will know what I mean. You either have to take the rain cover off if your motorcycle is parked outside, and also take the seat cover off so that you can access the battery under the seat and connect the charging cables to them. And if your motorcycle is parked outside, then it's likely you're not able to charge the motorcycle if it's raining. Join me in this video as I show you how easy it is to charge the motorcycle battery without taking the cover off, without taking the seat off, by just using this ANDERSON SB50 DC power connector. So what does my motorcycle battery charging system look like? That's the AC power socket on the wall. This is the ANDERSON 6 volt, 12 volt, 24 volt, 10 amp battery charger. It can charge lead acid, gel AGM, as well as calcium batteries based on the selector. In my case, the motorcycle battery is a gel battery, so I will have it on this selection. This is the voltage analog meter and the analog meter for charging current. I like this nice solid metal heat sinks and casing, and on the connecting timber block, the battery charger leads alligator clips clamped to a steel bolt, and also another alligator clip for the 6 AWG power cable. So positive, negative. This means that when it's raining, I can have the battery charger inside my garage, as well as a timber block connector inside the garage. So all of this can be isolated and protected from the rain, leaving only the DC power cord exposed to the outside. But that's okay. And at the end of the power cable is an ANDERSON SB50 DC power connector. That's the plus side and that's the negative side. That's what the inside of the connector looks like. There's two metal contacts. It's a very good design. There's no male or female. Each ANDERSON plug mates to the other ANDERSON plug by turning upside down. However, for genuine ANDERSON power connectors, they have several different colors for the connectors, and each color connector will only mate to the same color. So a gray will mate to a gray, but a gray will not mate to a green or red, for example. So now I'm at the motorcycle. How do I gain access to the battery without removing the rain cover or the motorcycle seat? Let me show you. Lift up the rain cover. That's the rear fender. That's the drive belt cover. And tucked in here is a corrugated cable loom. If I pull this out, you will see that I have a twin core 6 AWG power cable that terminates to an ANDERSON SB50 power connector. And this is a simple cover for the end. So when I tuck it away in the bike, I put this cover on and I push it in and tuck it in there so that it's out of the way. When I want it, I just need to pull it out, and in pulling it out, the cover will come off. It's as simple as that. Now I take the other lead from the battery charger and I mate the two together. If the connectors are the same facing, they will not join. You have to invert them this way and they will connect. So there's no way you can mistakenly join them the wrong way. So that's connected, and it's a very tight fitting. So now you need to apply quite a lot of force to decouple them. Now that's now joined securely. So if I'm gonna leave this overnight outside, I just tuck this away under, bring the cover back down, and the connection is protected from the rain, and it can charge outside overnight in the rain. So that's good. So how difficult was that? Not difficult at all. Obviously, I've already connected this DC power cable to the battery. I only need to do that once, and to do that, I would have had to take the motorcycle seat cover off. and join the cables to the terminals on the battery, but I do that only once. And after that, I just use this Anderson connector over and over again. Now, disconnecting it is simply pulling it apart, and you can see it takes a bit of force, which is good. There is something I want to show you. This connector has been on the motorcycle for several years now. It's a very high quality connector made in the US. However, over time you can see that this edge of the connector is cracked. So I intend to replace this old connector with a new one, and you can see the difference. That's the cracked edge on the casing. This is brand new, there's no damage. And with it brand new, you can see that inside there's a metal strip, and this is a genuine Anderson cable contact. After I replace this broken Anderson connector with the new one, I will then add this original Anderson environmental cover. There's a seal here. It protects the connector and contacts from dust and water. The SB50 connector goes in here. There's cable size markings on these two tubes. That's for AWG6 cables. That's AWG8, 10 and 12 cables. Or in millimeter square cross-sectional area, that's 16 millimeter square, 10, then 6, then 4 millimeter square. This will give my connector much greater protection from dust and water. So to remove the Anderson connector casing, the two spring clips in there latch on the tip of the contacts. So what I need to do is use a very thin flat edge screwdriver and push up on the spring clips so that it releases contact. At the same time, I can push it out so the edge of the spring clip has gone past the contact because the contact is inside. Do the same thing, release the spring clip on the other contact, and the same time push the contact in. There you go. Now both spring clip edges are forward of the contacts, which means they've released the contacts and I can just pull them out. It is a bit tight because I've actually applied liquid insulation into the holes, so they are tighter than usual. I will try and dig out the rubber a bit more so that it can release the lead. I'll try using a bigger flathead screwdriver to push it in. The black one essentially has dislodged. There you go, that's the black one. And you can see I've nicely terminated the contacts and used heat shrink around it. Now I just need to work the positive cable out. There you go, that's come out. So that's the two contacts, positive, negative, both with their own heat shrinks. That's the damaged SB50 Anderson connector with the broken edge. So I want to replace this broken connector with the new one. But before I can do that, I need to slot these two cables into these two rubber cones, but I have to cut it to the width of the cable. The cable I've used is AWG8, so AWG8, I need to cut the cone up to there. So I'm going to try just a bit below that first, because I would rather it is a tight fit. So that's the negative, that's the positive, so the negative goes in here. Yes, that's a bit too tight because I did undercut it. I'll cut it a bit bigger. That's why it looks like cut. So the negative needs to go in here. It's still a bit tight because I've got the contact here. Generally, you would be fitting the cable by itself without the contact. So in this case, I'm going to cut it a bit bigger. I've managed to push the black cable in. You can see it's come through, so that's good. Now to push the red cable in. Beautiful, red and black cables have gone through, and you can see it's come through this side. Now I had to cut the holes a bit bigger, only because, as I said, I had the electrical contacts there, and generally you would fit this in without the contacts first, but that's okay. This negative contact has to go into this side, negative. Now you see this notch here. Well, that notch of that metal tension clip, and the cable has to be turned that way for it to catch. So let me slip that in there that way and push that in. I might use the screwdriver just to push that spring clip downwards so that it will allow the contact to go in easier under less tension. Oh, it's gone in. There you go. The contact is now forward of the edge of the spring clip, so that's caught it. It's never gonna come out. Do the same thing with the positive. Turn this groove so that it will mate to the edge of the spring clip. Takes a bit of effort to push. It's come through. Beautiful. So now both contacts are fully engaged to the spring clip. They will never come out unless you disassemble them correctly. Now if I slip this in, that's now protected, and with the cover in, it's fully sealed. So that's what it looks like. That looks good. Nice, robust. This is Starbright liquid electrical tape. It's a liquid insulation. I will apply this around this area just to completely seal off any chance of water getting in. Give the surface a wipe first. Now this is the liquid insulation. It can comes with a brush. If I apply this like that, just so it goes in to the gaps, I think that's good enough. Now to let it dry. Well, I do hope you found this video useful and interesting and give you some ideas about how you can set up your charging system for your motorcycle as well in a convenient and safe way. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more and help the channel grow. Thank you so much.